Some people think that in order to be elegant or look elegant, you have to have a lot of money or spend a lot of money. But it is not so. Hi, it's good to have you here. My name is Annie, and today I'll be sharing some tips on how to live elegantly or feel luxurious on a budget or without spending too much. Before I go on, I'd like you to please click the subscribe button and like this video. As an elegant woman, you should be smart. And this includes being wise and prudent with your money. So thinking that you need to splurge all the time in order to appear elegant will be contradicting the concept of elegance itself. Now, how do we remain elegant if we're not spending too much? The first tip I'm going to share is to always budget and plan your income and expenses. If you plan and allocate your money well, things will not take you by surprise. You can already know that it's coming and you've already made plans for it. But failing to plan, on the other hand, will leave you clueless about the state of your finances, and it will just scatter everything for you. So start from there. Know and always record the amount you make, expected expenses, savings, and all. Then make plans for unforeseen but necessary expenses as well. I share personal finance tips on my other channel, Bossing with Annie, so please go on there to check those videos out for tips. I also shared some templates which I personally use that will help you monitor your expenses, help you budget well, and all of that. Just go on there and check. Number 2, please, I want you to know that there is always a cheaper alternative for almost everything. If you cannot afford something yet, you don't have to try and compare yourself with people who can conveniently afford expensive items just because you want to feel like you're on the same level with them. It is not necessary. Even if you can afford these things, it is not wise to spend all you have on expensive items that are not meaningful. The money can be used for more brilliant things like recreating more of it by investing, savings, or giving to the needy. No one says you should buy fake items, but if, for example, it is clear that an item from a no-name brand performs the same or even better than a high-end niche or designer brand, you may then need to ask yourself if you really need to spend that kind of money on something that isn't really worth it. Or maybe the no-name brand's product is even more beautiful than the high-end brands. Will you be happy spending so much on something you don't really like for the sake of appearing expensive to people who don't really care? Another example is food. If we can buy raw food and cook at home, why spend on restaurants and takeouts every other day? Also, it is not every food that you must eat. Well, unless you're a food blogger or something like that. Just don't let the reason why you eat all kinds of food be gluttony. So learning to do things by yourself is a good way to live elegantly on a budget. You can also learn to style your hair by yourself, fix your nails. It's good to have people do things for us, but not all the time. Number 3, take things one step at a time. You do not need a whole lot of everything all at once. It's when we try to buy things in bulk that it may seem like we are spending a lot, especially things that we may not even use in the foreseeable future. So for example, you can limit the pairs of heels you're buying at a time if you don't really go out. So maybe stick to the multi-purpose ones rather than the fantasy ones that are for specific occasions. Introduce stuff to your wardrobe and your space one after the other or a few at once. This even helps you avoid cluttered spaces. And one more thing I would like to add is that just because a lot of people have a bulk of certain things or are capable of doing some things doesn't make it normal for everyone to have or do as well. Social media has made it appear so normal for you to have like thousands and thousands of a particular thing, and it's absolutely not normal. If you see people that have a whole room full of clothes or a whole collection of wigs or anything like that, it doesn't mean it's normal. It doesn't mean that you have to have it as well. You don't have to have all of it. You don't need everything in every color or every style. Don't try to keep up with unrealistic lifestyles you don't even need. Number 4, opt for quality above quantity. With elegance, you honestly don't need to have it all. Knowing how to put together what you already have and making the best of it is a valuable skill. Invest in a few timeless pieces and avoid trends as much as you can. Instead of buying them all, opt for items that can be of use now and for a very long time. With fashion, instead of buying many of a particular clothing item, Buy a few that can easily be combined in many different ways. Buy jewelry that is beautiful and classy and can be worn almost everywhere. If you opt for the trendy ones, make sure they can be resold for a valuable amount, so you won't regret spending all that money after the style fades and it isn't relevant anymore. Number 5, do not spend to impress anyone. No. The sad reality of things is that some people spend a whole lot for no valid reason, but how they think they would appear to others. In their minds, they let people evaluate how elegant they are, forgetting that elegance doesn't stop at mere appearance. They fear that if they ever do things like repeating an outfit or do things that come off as them not having money, people are going to think they are broke or something. They forget that those people that may judge so probably don't even spend what you're spending. They will never live that kind of lifestyle. They will repeat their own clothes as much as they want in peace. And you want to be minding them or seeking validation from them because you want to appear elegant or glorious? No, that's not a sharp way to think. The thing about impressing people is that you will never impress them enough. So how far do you want to go with that? Number 6, don't waste on meaningless things. This is especially important if your income does not allow for unnecessary expenses. At all times, you should prioritize making allowance for the things that are necessary over things that aren't. And just like I mentioned with not buying everything at once, try to make purchases for things that either bring value, like books, and don't spend a lot to acquire things that you do not need immediately, especially those things that don't add value. Another good example is meaningless flexing. Let's say you have a group of friends that like to go out or party or eat out or shop all the time, and you don't even like that lifestyle, and just so they don't leave you behind, you go along. And the sad part, they make you spend what you shouldn't or wouldn't if you were alone. These things are meaningless. You won't remember how you spent that money in a few moments, so why do it? Spend on things that have meaning and positive impact instead. Number 7, enjoy the free things. There are things in life that won't cost you anything at all. Resting, studying the Word of God, praying, recreational activities like watching nature, self-reflection, reading free books, cleaning your environment, and so on. All these things are necessary for elegant women. So we don't even need to focus on what we can spend on all the time when it comes to being elegant. Number 8, and my final tip, surround yourself with like-minded people. First of all, being around fellow elegant people or people who think like you will prevent you from spending on meaningless things. When you see what they're spending their time and their money on, you will know that you're on the right track. An elegant woman is resourceful. She is not a wasteful being. She doesn't waste time on meaningless things. Surrounding yourself with other elegant people will build you up positively. There is no reason to spend time with people who are only there to diminish the value of your character. I've talked about the kinds of people you shouldn't be spending time with as an elegant woman in a previous video. Check the end screen of this video and find the link in the description below to watch it. That's all for now. I hope with these tips we understand how to live on a budget or avoid spending too much but yet remain elegant. Remember, not spending too much does not imply that you are broke or tight-fisted. Thanks for watching. I would like you to comment your opinions and other ways you think we can live elegantly without spending too much. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on all notifications. You can also share with someone who you think will find this helpful. Please join our community for elegant women to interact with like-minded people, share, learn, and grow on your journey to becoming the elegant woman. The link is in the description below. If you would like to have a one-on-one session with me, the link to book is in the description as well. Until my next video where I hope to see you, please do stay beautiful, stay elegant, and stay blessed. Mwah.